Hi, my name is Helen and I'm one of the mentors. I'm an alumni, graduated from UC Berkeley as a communications major. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. The workshop that you are in right now is the Cooking for 5 in 30 Minutes workshop. Before I dive in, just wanted to get this out there. I'm actually not a good cook, but over the years, through many reps, I've learned and observed people who are good at cooking efficiently, and I've tried to adopt some of their skills myself. So something like cooking for 5 people is not that much drama. Food is something that requires time and preparation. You actually have to think about who you're going to eat with, if anyone at all, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, all these questions. And food also takes thought. It's something we all need, and actually it's one of the best ways we can show love and care for people. I'm thankful to be here with you today and hope that what I'm going to share with you in this short time will make your life and preparing for food a little easier, a little more efficient, and perhaps not so daunting. My goal through this workshop is to introduce you to a couple of tips for quick meals for a small group, and even demonstrate for you a couple of easy menus that you can try right off the bat. Okay, before I get into this next segment, just wanted to pose a couple of scenarios for you. See if you can identify with this. So scenario 1, you bump into some old dorm friends on campus, and it's actually a long time since you guys hung out. So you impromptu invite them to your apartment for dinner. Great, you'll be hanging out, but you have class, and right afterwards, you'll have to cook, but you don't know what to make. Or scenario 2, you forgot that you're in charge of making dinner for your small group, and you get out of lecture right at 5 p.m., and you don't have time to go shopping and also cook. What should you do? So I don't know if you can identify with these scenarios or if they sound familiar. I think they are totally relatable though. Before getting into the cooking show part of this workshop, I wanted to share some tricks and tips for putting together a quick meal when you don't have much time to plan or go shopping. You don't have to use these, but hopefully it will give you some ideas. I think having these quick meal suggestions in mind and some key items on hand in your fridge and pantry will help you in making those quick emergency meals. So the first item is the frozen breaded chicken. This is great if you have the tonkatsu or Yoshida based sauce for a quick chicken katsu. You basically cook the chicken, which is super easy to do. You cut it up into strips and put the meat on a bed of shredded cabbage with some rice and veggies, and there's a quick meal for you. The second item I suggest is personal size tostadas. You can use whatever like burrito ingredients you like, but add refried beans and replace sour cream and cheese with real Mexican sour cream and crumbled cheese. The Mexican sour cream you can find at the same section as regular sour cream. The refried beans actually help ingredients to stick to the tostada. So it's a little nicer than like make your own burritos, and it's tasty and no real cooking involved either. And you just serve it up with some chips and salsa or any other sides and fixings, and there you go, a good meal. Next is a pre-marinated roast from Costco. I like to have a pre-marinated roast in my freezer as well. You can heat up the meat and roast some vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and onions to go along with it. The great thing is that this pre-marinated meat, this roast is actually already cooked. So it just needs to be reheated, and make sure that you just have to make sure that the other veggies get cooked. One thing that I love and is super easy to make and makes a meal taste really tasty is a teriyaki based dipping sauce. I personally like to use Yoshida sauce. And this sauce goes with any meat like beef, pork, or chicken. And here are the ingredients for about 10 servings. Okay, it'll be a half a cup of Yoshida or some type of sweet soy-based sauce, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of chili garlic sauce, about half a teaspoon of chopped garlic, chopped red onion, and fresh chopped cilantro. And this is an optional item, so you don't need to have it, but it makes the sauce taste great. In a small pot, put in all the dipping sauce ingredients, minus the chopped red onion and cilantro. Bring it to a boil, then turn off the heat, and after about 3 minutes, add in the chopped red onion and cilantro. Then serve the sauce while it's still warm. And you could put the sauce either on top of the meat or you can have it on the side. And it's great if you serve the meat with some rice and a nice salad, and there's your meal. Okay, so here are some other items that are useful to just have in stock at your apartment. The first item, I love these. These are the Ling Ling pot stickers. You can get them from any supermarket or Costco. Keep them in your freezer. It's super easy and quick to boil or fry when you're in a hurry. The second item is these carnitas. So this is from Costco, or you can get it from your local supermarket. It can be used for burritos or even for pulled pork, or you can use it in like omelets, fried rice, or quesadillas. And again, this is fully cooked too. You just need to heat it up. Okay, so the next item that I always have on hand are mixed vegetables, canned or frozen vegetables. It's nice to have just to put into soups, fried rice, casseroles, or even into like mac and cheese. The mixed vegetables, it has like corn, carrots, peas, like green beans. And these are sliced potatoes. Yes, sliced potatoes in a can. It's great to put into like chicken pot pie, home fries, even curry. The next thing I like to have is shredded rotisserie chicken meat. It's frozen, so you keep it in your freezer, and it can be used for spring rolls, fried rice, like a chicken salad. And the last item I always like to have in my fridge is tofu. It's great for Asian dishes, but it's great to also cut it up into stir fry it and then like top it on a salad. Okay, so now I wanted to demonstrate how to make a couple of easy dishes that you can make for a group of 5 people. First, I will show you how to make Japanese curry. These are all the ingredients you'll need to make Japanese curry. So you'll have 1 box of the Japanese curry, 2 pounds of pork. You can use beef, pork, or chicken, but I'm using pork for today. Half a pound of baby carrots. You'll need 2 large Yukon Gold potatoes, but depending on the size of the potato, you'll need to modify. But 2 large Yukon Gold potatoes and 1 onion. Before we actually start the cutting and prepping of the vegetables and meat, you should go ahead and wash and start cooking 4 cups of short-grained rice in a rice cooker, since making the rice will take the most time. Regarding rice, typically 1 serving of rice is a half a cup of raw rice, but for Japanese curry, people will tend to eat more rice, so it's recommended to make a little bit more rice than normal. And I'm gonna be giving you these tips kind of as we go along. First tip is use hot or boiling water to make rice if you're in a real hurry. It cuts cooking time down to like 15 minutes if you're gonna make about 4 cups of rice. Now I will demonstrate how to cut each of the ingredients. All of these items actually can be prepped the night before so that after class or work, whenever it's time for you to cook the curry, it's ready to go. In a medium-sized pot, start boiling 2.5 cups of water, basically half the suggested amount of water that it says on the curry box. Set the other half aside and we'll use that later. Now let's start cutting the rest of the items. Again, you can use any kind of meat, beef or chicken, but I have pork here. We're gonna cut the pork into 1-inch cubes. We'll stir fry the meat till it's brown and then add it to the water when it's finished. I'm going to clear this cutting board and knife into the sink and use a fresh one to cut the veggies. That's a kind of a rule when cooking. When you're cutting raw meat and then you're gonna cut some things afterwards, you should always use a fresh knife and cutting board because there's all the juices from the raw meat. A tip while you're cooking, so clear your stations as you work so that you can reduce clutter. If you're actually cooking with someone, while you're cooking, the other person can clean and just kind of clear the area. So it's more efficient that way. Okay, so we're gonna cut the rest of the veggies into 1-inch cubes pieces. The baby carrots, you can cut them in half. Things to note regarding the potatoes. I like to use Yukon Gold potatoes because you don't have to peel them and you can eat the skin. For this recipe, all you have to do is wash and cut the potatoes. And if you're prepping the night before, simply put the cut potatoes into a bowl of water. Make sure everything is fully immersed in the water, and doing that will prevent the potatoes from browning. Okay, we are going to add the vegetables into the pot of boiled water as they're cut, and then turn the water to medium heat. Something to note why we're doing that, potatoes and carrots, they take longer to cook and soften. So make sure they go in early and that the pieces are not too big so that they can get soft. Another tip, if you want to cook curry even quicker and you only have like 10 minutes, you can actually use canned or frozen veggies, including canned potatoes and rotisserie chicken meat. All it requires is for the water and the ingredients to come to a boil so that you could stir in the curry paste. And this one requires no prep, just throwing the things into a pot. Okay, you're gonna break up the curry blocks and then put it into a microwavable bowl and microwave for about 1 minute. Voila. When the meat is tender and the potatoes and carrots are soft, we're gonna actually add the melted curry into the pot. And then stir until the curry is mixed in and it thickens. And then add the remaining half of the water slowly, the water that we set aside, the 2.5 cups. And stop when it reaches your desired thickness. Important note, the pot must be stirred once you add the curry sauce throughout cooking it until you turn off the heat. Otherwise, it burns on the bottom of the pot. Okay, so next we're going to make a chicken pot pie meal. Very simple to make. I'm gonna go through the ingredients with you. So first, this is a Marie Callender's pie crust. It's frozen. It usually comes in packs of 2, but for this meal, for 5 people, we're gonna use 1 pie crust. We need a cup of either fresh or frozen diced onions. 1 can of the sliced potatoes. This is the 15-ounce can. 2 cans of the mixed vegetables, okay? 15 ounces of canned chicken. So you can use rotisserie chicken, shredded ones, or you can use the canned chicken, which I'm gonna use that. 1 can of cream of chicken soup. 2 cans, each about 10.5 ounces of the chicken gravy, so 2 cans of that. And this is the pie crust. So this comes in packs of 2, but we're gonna just use 1 for this meal of 5 people. Okay, first we're going to prepare the filling of the pie. Step 1, wash and dice onions into small pieces. Then we're gonna drain the canned vegetables and the chicken and transfer that into a large mixing bowl. We'll add the gravy and the cream of chicken soup. And then we'll gently just mix everything together so that all the ingredients are well mixed in with the gravy and the cream of chicken. Okay, so now we're gonna actually assemble the pie. So we're gonna first preheat the oven to 400 degrees. We're gonna fill the bottom pie crust with the prepared filling that we have in the mixing bowl and put in slightly heaping amount. We're gonna gently now unroll one of the Pillsbury pie crusts. You can find the pie crust where the yogurt and the biscuits are at the market. We're gonna unroll this really carefully and place on top of the filled bottom pie crust. Pinch the bottom and top crust together to seal it. like shape it a bit to make it look kind of uniform all around. Then we're gonna cut 3 small slices on top of the pie for the escaping steam. We will bake for about 30 minutes until golden brown and the filling is hot. So once the pie is done, we will serve it with some salad or some steamed vegetables and rolls, and there's your meal. Hope this workshop was helpful, at least to give you some tips and ideas on how to cook for a group of 5 in 30 minutes and without too much drama. Thank you.